What if we are not alone? Throughout history, strange signals from deep space, mysterious radio bursts, and unexplained patterns in crop fields have hinted at messages, perhaps from intelligent life trying to communicate with us. In this video, we explore these signals, the possible alien messages, and the secrets hidden in the night sky. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover the mysteries the universe may be trying to share. On August 15th, 1977, something unusual happened in the quiet fields of Ohio, United States. At Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope, a powerful radio signal was detected coming from deep space. The telescope was part of a scientific project called SETI, whose only purpose was simple but profound: to listen for signs of intelligent life beyond Earth. The signal lasted 72 seconds. That duration was not random. It matched exactly the time it would take for a fixed radio telescope to observe a signal as the Earth rotated. This alone made the detection extraordinary. When astronomer Jerry R. Eman later reviewed the computer printout, one sequence immediately stood out. Next to the signal, he wrote a single word by hand: "Wow." The signal appeared to originate from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, near a group of stars not known to emit such strong radio waves. Even more unsettling was its frequency: 1420 megahertz, the exact frequency of hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. Because of this, scientists have long believed that any advanced civilization attempting to communicate might choose this frequency, knowing it would be universally recognizable. Natural cosmic sources rarely produce such narrow-band, intense signals. Man-made interference was investigated and later ruled out. No satellites, aircraft, or known human transmissions matched the characteristics of what was recorded that night. The most disturbing part came later. Despite repeated attempts, the signal was never detected again. The Big Ear telescope listened. Other observatories listened. Scientists waited. Nothing, no repetition, no pattern, no confirmation. Some researchers suggested it could have been a rare natural phenomenon. Others proposed it might have been a comet, though later analysis weakened that theory. To this day, no explanation has been universally accepted. The WOW signal remains one of the strongest candidates for a non-human transmission ever recorded, not because it proves extraterrestrial intelligence, but because science cannot fully explain it. It did not carry a message we could decode. It did not introduce itself. It did not return. It simply appeared, and then vanished into silence. And the question it left behind still echoes through modern astronomy. If it was a message, why was it sent only once? In 1967, nearly 10 years before the WOW signal, another discovery shook the scientific world and for a brief moment made humanity question whether it had already received its first message from extraterrestrial intelligence. The discovery was made not by a government agency or a secret military program, but by a 24-year-old graduate student, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, at the University of Cambridge. While analyzing data from a newly built radio telescope, Bell noticed something strange. A radio signal was appearing again and again, perfectly regular, extremely precise, and unlike anything astronomers had seen before. The signal pulsed every 1.337 seconds. It was so accurate that it resembled a clock. Natural cosmic phenomena were not known to behave this way. Stars did not pulse with such mechanical precision. Galaxies did not blink, and yet there it was, a repeating signal from deep space, stable to a fraction of a second. At first, the research team jokingly labeled the source LGM-1, short for Little Green Men. The joke hid a real concern. The regularity of the pulses suggested intentional design. If a civilization wanted to announce its presence, repeating a simple, unmistakable pattern would be an effective way to do it. Even more unsettling, a second signal was soon detected. Then a third, then a fourth. If it were aliens, that meant multiple sources. The idea was quietly discussed, never announced publicly. Scientists knew that making such a claim without absolute certainty could change human history or destroy scientific credibility. Then the truth emerged. The signals were traced to a new type of object. Neutron stars, the ultra-dense remnants of massive stars that had collapsed after supernova explosions. These stars rotated at incredible speeds, emitting beams of radio waves like cosmic lighthouses. As they spun, their beams swept past Earth, creating the illusion of a pulse. They were named pulsars. The discovery solved the mystery, but introduced a deeper one. Neutron stars pack more mass than our Sun into a sphere the size of a city. Their magnetic fields are trillions of times stronger than Earth's. Their physics defy intuition and push the limits of what matter can endure. What disturbed scientists was not that pulsars were natural, but that they existed at all. Because their precision rivaled artificial systems, because the universe had created something that looked, sounded, and behaved like technology, and because, for a brief moment, humanity realized how icily a real extraterrestrial signal could be, hidden in plain sight, dismissed as natural once an explanation was found. Today, pulsars are used as cosmic clocks, even proposed as navigation tools for future spacecraft. But one question quietly remains. If the universe can produce signals so perfectly timed, how would we recognize one that wasn't natural? And more importantly, what if we already missed one? In 1974, humanity did something it had never done before. Instead of listening to the universe, we spoke to it. On November 16, 1974, during a ceremony marking the upgrade of the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico, scientists sent a powerful radio transmission into deep space. This was not an accident. It was intentional, and it was symbolic. The message was designed by astronomer Frank Drake. With help from Carl Sagan and other researchers, it was aimed at a star cluster called Messier 13, located about 25,000 light-years away. The transmission lasted just 3 minutes, but its meaning could last forever. The message consisted of 1,679 binary digits, ones and zeros. That number was not random. It is the product of two prime numbers, 73 and 23. The idea was simple. Any intelligent civilization capable of receiving the signal might try to arrange the bits into a rectangle. If arranged correctly, the message revealed several distinct sections. Numbers from 1 to 10. The atomic numbers of key elements for life: hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. The structure of DNA: a human figure with information about our height and population. A representation of our solar system. A diagram of the Arecibo telescope itself. It was, in essence, a cosmic introduction. This is who we are. This is where we live. This is how we are built. At the time, many scientists criticized the idea. They argued it was reckless, announcing our presence to the universe without knowing who might be listening. Others said it was pointless, since Messier 13 is so far away that even if a civilization received the message and replied immediately, we wouldn't hear back for 50,000 years. But the message had already been sent, and something unsettling followed. In the decades after the Arecibo transmission, SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, reported an increase in unexplained radio anomalies, signals that didn't repeat, didn't match known sources, and vanished before they could be studied in detail. No confirmed reply has ever been received. Yet, in 2001, a mysterious formation appeared in a crop field near the original Arecibo site, a crop circle that appeared to be a response to the Arecibo message, with altered data. Scientists dismissed it as a hoax. But the timing disturbed many, because for the first time humanity had crossed a threshold. We were no longer just listeners. We had announced ourselves, and once you speak into the darkness, you can never be sure who heard you, or what they understood. Long before radio signals were sent into space, the Earth itself began receiving something strange. Not through antennas, not through satellites, but through the ground. The first widely documented crop circles appeared in southern England in the late 1970s, though historical records describe similar patterns as far back as the 17th century. Farmers woke up to find their fields transformed overnight. Vast geometric designs pressed gently into crops, with no signs of human entry. At first, they were simple circles, then they evolved. By the 1990s, crop circles became astonishingly complex. Spirals, fractals, interlocking symbols, and mathematical patterns so precise they seemed almost calculated. One of the most puzzling aspects was how they were formed. Scientific analysis revealed that in many cases, plant stems were bent, not broken. Nodes showed signs of rapid heating from within. Soil beneath the formations was sometimes magnetically altered. Tiny iron spheres, formed by intense heat, were found embedded in the earth. These effects could not be easily replicated with ropes and boards. In 1996, a crop formation appeared near Stonehenge, displaying a near-perfect Julia set fractal, a structure derived from advanced mathematics. The pattern stretched hundreds of meters across, completed in a single night. No footprints, no machinery marks, no witnesses. Then came the most unsettling development. In 2001, near Chilbolton Observatory in Hampshire, England, a massive crop formation appeared that resembled a binary code message. When decoded, it seemed to mimic the structure of the 1974 Arecibo message, but with changes. The reply suggested a different DNA structure, a different planetary system, a different being. Scientists and skeptics quickly labeled it a hoax. Yet no one could explain how such a detailed, information-rich design could be executed in darkness, silently, and with such biological effects on the crops. Were these messages, markers, or something else entirely? Some researchers believe crop circles are not meant for us at all, but are signatures, visible only from above, perhaps intended for something watching from the sky. If that is true, then Earth may not just be receiving messages. It may be part of a conversation we were never meant to hear. And as the patterns grew more complex, one question became unavoidable. If these designs are not human, why do they keep appearing near places of ancient significance? Scientific research and astronomical observation, and more importantly, what are they trying to say? After the wow, signal scientists believed that if an intelligent source was out there, it would not speak only once. They were right. In the early 2000s, radio astronomers began detecting something different from random noise signals that repeated, but not regularly enough to be easily explained. The most famous of these came in 2007. Researchers studying archived data from the Parkes Observatory in Australia identified a powerful burst of radio energy that lasted only a few milliseconds. At first, it was dismissed as interference. Then another appeared, and another. These signals were later named fast radio bursts, or FRBs. What made FRBs disturbing was not just their strength, but their origin. They were coming from outside our galaxy, some released in a fraction of a second, more energy than the sun produces in an entire day. No known natural process could fully explain them. Most FRBs appeared once and never again. But in 2012, something changed. Astronomers detected an FRB labeled FRB 121,102, and unlike the others, it repeated again and again and again, always from the same distant region of space. Located in a dwarf galaxy nearly 3 billion light-years away, this repetition shattered previous theories. If it were a star collapsing, it should only happen once. If it were a collision, there should be destruction. But the source remained active. Some scientists proposed exotic explanations: neutron stars, extreme plasma environments. Others quietly asked a different question: could repetition mean intention? Then, in 2020, researchers detected a repeating FRB originating from within the Milky Way itself. For the first time, such a signal was close, astronomically speaking, too close to ignore. Even more unsettling, some FRBs showed polarization patterns, suggesting the signals had passed through highly organized magnetic fields, environments that hinted at structure, not chaos. And then, just as suddenly as they appeared, some of the repeating sources went silent. No gradual fading, no warning, just silence, as if something had finished speaking, or moved on, or realized it was being observed. If these bursts are messages, we do not yet understand their language, but repetition is rarely accidental, and silence after repetition may be the loudest signal of all, because the universe does not usually stop talking without a reason. In 1974, humanity decided to speak first. From the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, scientists transmitted a powerful radio message toward a star cluster called Messier 13, located about 25,000 light-years away. The message was simple, mathematical, and symbolic, a kind of cosmic introduction. It contained information about numbers and basic mathematics, the structure of DNA, human figures and our population, our solar system, the radio telescope itself. The message lasted only 167 seconds. At the time, most scientists agreed on one thing. Even if someone received it, a reply would take tens of thousands of years. So no one was waiting. Then something strange happened. In 2001, in a field near the Chilboton Radio Telescope in England, a massive crop formation appeared overnight. At first glance, it looked like a normal crop circle. But when researchers examined it closely, they noticed something unsettling. The pattern was not random. It was binary code. When decoded, it appeared to mirror the structure of the original Arecibo message, but with changes. The reply described a different DNA structure, a non-human figure with a larger head and smaller body, a different planetary system, a technology that looked unlike Arecibo's design. The location of the reply was what disturbed researchers the most. It appeared next to a working radio telescope, not anywhere else, not randomly, precisely there. Skeptics argued it was a hoax, a sophisticated human-made formation. But others asked a quiet question. If it was a hoax, why reply to a message most people had forgotten? Why match its structure so precisely? And why place it beside a telescope designed to listen to space? There was no clear evidence it came from extraterrestrial intelligence. But there was also no explanation for how such a complex, mathematically consistent formation could be created overnight without leaving traces. No footprints, no tools, no witnesses, just a message in the crops. If it was a coincidence, it was an intelligent one. If it was a response, it arrived 27 years too early, which raises a disturbing thought. What if the message was never meant for Messier 13? What if it was meant for someone already listening, or watching, or waiting for us to speak first? And if that was a reply, what else have we received without realizing it was an answer? By the late 1970s and early 1980s, crop circles had moved beyond simple circles. Fields across southern England began to appear with intricate, geometric patterns that defied easy explanation. At first, the designs were mostly circular, simple, elegant, and mysterious. But over time, the complexity increased. Spirals, fractals, and interlocking shapes appeared overnight. Some were hundreds of meters across, stretching entire fields, often centered near farms, ancient monuments, or places associated with astronomical observation. Researchers noted something remarkable. Many of these formations had properties that could not be easily duplicated by human hands. Stalks bent at nodes rather than broken. Sections of crops twisted in ways that suggested sudden heating. Magnetic anomalies detected in soil samples. tiny metallic spheres embedded in some of the stalks. In 1996, a formation appeared that mimicked a Julia-set fractal, a mathematical structure previously thought impossible to produce manually in a single night. Some scientists suggested hoaxes, citing pranksters with planks and ropes. Others noted the timing and locations of these formations, near telescopes, adjacent to ancient monuments, occasionally aligning with notable stars or constellations. It was as if someone or something was using the Earth itself as a canvas to communicate. In 2001, near the Chilbolton Observatory, another formation appeared that mirrored the 1974 Arecibo message. Encoded within the pattern were subtle deviations, hints at alternative DNA structures, representations of a non-human being, and references to another star system entirely. Skeptics were quick to dismiss it as human fabrication, but the precision, timing, and mathematical accuracy continued to provoke unease. If these were messages, they were not random. They were deliberate, they were persistent, and they suggested something profound. Perhaps Earth was not only a passive observer in the cosmos, perhaps it was a participant in a conversation, a dialogue that began long before humans could understand it, and one that continues quietly under the cover of night. Some formations appeared only once. Others returned, creating a slow rhythm, a pattern in time, almost like a heartbeat. And the question remained, who was sending these messages? And why choose the Earth itself as the medium? For those who study these phenomena, the crop circles were more than visual spectacles. They were unsolved signals, persistent reminders that messages and perhaps answers may already be among us, waiting to be recognized. After decades of listening, astronomers discovered a phenomenon that continues to baffle the scientific world: fast radio bursts, or FRB. First observed in 2007, these are brief flashes of radio energy lasting only milliseconds. Yet in that instant, they release more energy than the sun produces in a single day. Most FRBs appear once, vanish, and never return. Then a strange pattern emerged. Some FRBs began to repeat, always from the same location in space, billions of light-years away. The first repeating FRB, labeled FRB 121,102, showed a rhythm that hinted at structure rather than randomness. Scientists proposed natural explanations, neutron stars, and other extreme astrophysical phenomena, but the regularity of the repeating bursts invites a different thought. Could there be intent behind the signal? Unlike other cosmic noise, these bursts are brief, powerful, and precise. They speak across unimaginable distances, yet leave no trace, no explanation, no signature pointing to their origin. Some researchers quietly wonder, perhaps these signals are messages, waiting for someone capable of understanding them. Perhaps the universe is trying to communicate, and we are only beginning to hear. And just like the wow signal, the repeating FRBs remind us of a profound truth. The cosmos is full of mysteries that do not announce themselves, that speak only in fleeting moments, and vanish before we can fully grasp them. If we listen closely, maybe, just maybe, we can hear what they are trying to tell us.